Please sit down, ladies and gentlemen, because what was just leaked could completely change your perception of the most committed hip-hop pair. A real hotel security camera caught something so ludicrous and indisputable that even Papoose couldn't keep acting. And can you guess who was in the video? 50 Cent and Remy Ma were barred in a posh suite alone by themselves for 7 hours. It was not a meeting for work. To put it simply, isn't just any old blurry internet video though. It was played in court during a divorce. We want to know how long it has been going on. Was it prior to or following her emotional birthday homage to Papoose that she shared on social media last month? Furthermore, why is 50 Cent grinning here as if he had won the Super Bowl? Not only is it a scandal, but it is a complete betrayal. Let us examine the specific events again. Whoa! This was prearranged. We've discovered that the scandal's seeds were planted months or even years before while we were all too preoccupied with praising Remy Ma and Papoose as ideal black couples. However, there was a dangerous underbelly behind those Grammy night handshakes and Instagram filters. Remy Ma and 50 Cent were photographed together at an industry brunch in Tribeca, which fans thought was a harmless rumor that started it all. Not much, except for the fact that Papoose was inexplicably absent from the initial guest list for the same occasion. A now-deleted tweet appears 2 weeks after it vanished. Looking quite anxious, Remy Ma and 50 Cent came into Mercer last night. What is this? It was the first break in the FOD for some of us, but the tweet was lost in the middle of Stan Wars and celebrity rumors, of course. It's time to discuss that Mercer moment. Celebrities love the Mercer Hotel in Soho because it's so secretive, expensive, and most importantly, they don't talk. Sadly, 50 cameras are still in operation, and one of them, which faces the private elevator, will arrive. The video, which was leaked this week, portrays Remy wearing a dark green hoodie and 50 in all black. It is 4,000 crystal clear and time-stamped. Only the two of them entered together, with no driver or entourage present. The elevator card just needed to be swiped once to get them to the penthouse. Let's pause before we go any farther and question how Papoose learned. We verified their identification off the record, and 3 days before he filed for divorce, Papoose received an unmarked USB drive in the mail, according to an unnamed legal aid close to the divorce case. It held within 48 hours. Papoose met with his attorney in Manhattan to begin the legal process. According to the court complaint, the basis for the disagreements was irreconcilable treachery, not misunderstanding, but outright, ruthless betrayal. The other file was a screen capture of a private messaging exchange between 50 Cent and Remy Ma. It contained links to late-night websites, seductive emojis, and the most damning statement from Remy: "I missed that night. Same room next week." Just think of how Papoose may have felt emotionally as a result. He reportedly went 2 days without speaking to his pals or even his daughter, according to insiders close to his inner circle. Trying to figure out where it all went wrong, one friend said he just sat at the table and watched the film repeatedly. Furthermore, just after the court documents were submitted, Papoose's helper uploaded an enigmatic Instagram story that read, "Some of you know how to act until you see a platinum plaque walk into your hotel suite." The posting was swiftly taken down, but the message was unmistakable. This was a recurrent mistake rather than a one-time one. 50 Cent is no stranger to creating trouble. His clown jaw rule exposed everyone from Floyd Mayweather to Viva and Fox, crushed Young Buck, and made fun of Diddy. But it always felt different with Remy. Despite their years of calm regard for one another, does not always mean innocence. People assumed that Remy's prolonged hesitation was just shyness as 50 moved in for an embrace. Papoose saw this and didn't become suspicious, but that moment has since been reposted more than 50,000 times with new captions like "too much." As a result, just posted a smirking selfie with the caption, "I told you loyalty is just a trend." That post alone went viral on the internet. We should discuss the extent of this betrayal before moving on to the mayhem in the courtroom and the consequences of the video. This was not the first time that 50 had worn it. This is the real hotel security footage that was posted online by an unnamed source a few hours after the court file was made public. Both censoring and a watermark are absent. The video opens with Remy Ma, dressed in sunglasses and a sweatshirt, walking alone into the Mercer Hotel elevator lobby and glancing around as if she knows she shouldn't be there. When the elevator opens 30 seconds later, who do you think will get out? The 50 Cent smiles and nods. The camera records her being followed into the elevator. That caused the internet to break. It took less than 10 minutes to post on the backup page of Shade Room Hollywood Unlocked and Gossip Spill Vibes, and the responses were intense. Papoose hurled his phone like a football, and Sis sneaked into a hotel room with Curtis Jackson, while sporting a tattoo of loyalty on her wrist. This strategy of emotional damage isn't even cheating. The following footage was taken 3 hours later that same evening, when 50 persons were seen by the camera leaving the elevator by themselves, their shirts slightly undone and their hair unkempt. The concierge desk's placards caught his attention. Shan Carter, JRB, Shady, and Petty Remy were apparently popular names in the 1950s. She made her reservation under Wallace. Are those names known to you? They are, in fact, fictitious names that were influenced by Biggie and Jay-Z. Legends were trolling behind their nicknames as well. After 2 hours, Remy finally left, and when she did, she was giggling on the phone as though she wanted to get caught. There were only 3 words she reportedly uttered when the judge asked whether she had any comments. I need time. For what is it time? To make amends for the affair, to heal the marriage, or to schedule her next hotel stay with 50. It was confirmed by numerous people within the courtroom that Papoose was trembling as the video was playing. According to one reporter, he appeared as though he had just watched a slow-motion funeral. Reportedly, Remy sat gaunt, gazing straight ahead as though it were merely an unavoidable YouTube advertisement. After learning that Papoose had not returned home, he immediately went to his cousin's house in Yonkers, switched off his phone, and stopped using the internet altogether. Within an hour, his assistant's photo of his empty studio chair was taken down, along with the statement, "A king shouldn't have to rebuild what was never real." In the meantime, 50 Cent was. A photo of himself holding a cigar and champagne in one hand was posted by him 2 days after the leak, with the remark, "When the truth comes out." As if that weren't shady enough, he also tagged Remy Ma in the corner. Did she repost? No. But did she also remove the tag? No. The silence is screaming. Now for the most bizarre part of all. What if this wasn't just an affair? What if it was planned? Based on what some internet detectives found, it seems that 6 months ago, 50 Cent and Remy Ma went to the same artist wellness retreat in Costa Rica, where phones weren't allowed and no photos were permitted. Were ever released. Guess who wasn't invited? Papoose? And guess what happened? Remy Ma suddenly stopped wearing her wedding ring in public 2 weeks after they returned, which may be the beginning of a conscious uncoupling, but it's even more damning because, according to a close source of the retreat coordinator, they were inseparable during the trip, the same bonfire, morning jog, and remote hammocks. Don't forget that 50 Cent is a skilled manipulator, and he knew exactly how to break her up if he wanted her. The real twist is that Fat Joe unfollowed both of them, yes, their mentor, their brother, and 50 Cent, and for Terror Squad fans, that's essentially a funeral procession. Now, with the next divorce hearing barely a few days away, there won't be a public apology. Careers and fans who are rioting. Some are dragging Remy, who had a man who held her down through jail and humiliation, and she traded him for power. Even though there was a lot of noise from the court that day, behind the scenes, things were getting louder than ever since. Even though Remy Ma didn't say anything and 50 Cent kept trolling from his phone, Papoose's statement, "No damage control from Remy." Public opinion on the court has already been decided. She committed infidelity. He lost his love and shattered. 50 left. But hold on, it's not over yet. For what happens if Papoose does speak up at last? What if he releases screenshots, audio recordings, his own receipts, and perhaps even a track of retaliation? The source remarked, "I mean, yeah, Papoose is sweet, but you don't turn down a man like 50. He's powerful. He's under pressure. He's everything," in reference to the audio recording of Remy Ma and a purported stylist. Although Papoose is a sweetheart, he added, "You don't turn down a man like 50. He's power. He's pressure. He's everything. He stepped out of the spotlight and returned to his lawyer's private Brooklyn office, holding a manila folder tightly under one arm. He didn't say a word or grin, only made it clear that his goal was to complete the task Remy had begun. That's it. Papoose stopped looking for answers and started getting ready for war. Now, let's talk about what's happening in the industry. Although you all assumed the drama was between 3 people, it's actually caused a chain reaction from the Bronx to the bet offices. Producers have already canceled Remy's upcoming Doa series about love, loyalty, and prison reform behind closed doors because it's hard to sell an image of redemption and ride or die love when you're sneaking into hotel suites with the very Papooses. Streams have increased by 700% in the meantime, and his song Time Is Up is currently trending on TikTok not because it's new, but because fans think he wrote it after the first betrayal. You smiled in my face while you dialed his number, and Slash said you needed space. Now the room is getting dumber. That's not a song. That's a premonition. Let's go back to the power moves. His legal team gathered his receipts, and then, Ray's team is desperately trying to come up with a comeback statement or even a tearful interview with a sympathetic journalist. But the public isn't ready to forgive because what happens when you cheat with a man who once trolled you and then betray him? The bizarre request to include malicious betrayal and image defamation in the divorce filing basically means that he isn't just leaving. He is taking the story with him and possibly even a piece of Remy's brand. People recall that one fan tweeted, "Remy really took the man who waited for her and threw him under the gun bus." 50 Cent thrives on chaos, and even his own circle is starting to twitch. Eminem reportedly wasn't because both Remy and 50 were supposed to perform at the upcoming Legends of Hip Hop event, but now Em's team may cancel the event not out of morality, but because this scandal is toxic PR. No one wants to share a stage with a couple that destroyed the blueprint of Black love. The hole is even deeper. A bartender from the Mercer Hotel came forward anonymously, and what they said is disturbing. They weren't hiding anything. They ordered champagne and strawberries like it was a honeymoon, and Remy was sitting on his lap laughing. I only saw them for 10 seconds, but that look wasn't a slip. It was a pattern. Let that sink in. If they came forward at the risk of lawsuits, non-disclosure agreements, and a whole legal mess, it is that they were morally disgusted by what they saw. Papoose has stayed classy despite the fact that Ray's endorsements are waning and the 50s are stoking the flames. Interviews, diss tracks, tantrums, and truth receipts have all been absent, but guess who couldn't keep it quiet? Yep, Remy's sister posted a story on Instagram with the caption, "Not everyone's meant to stay married. Don't pretend that none of you cheated, girl. It's not the time. It's not about everyone here. This concerns you and your sister, as well as the breakdown of the only remaining stable hip-hop couple." She was attacked in the comments by fans right away, who called her tone-deaf, a clown in a costume, and the reason the family broke apart. In all honesty, they were correct. Everyone is now curious about it. Is this merely another celebrity breakup? Or is everything Remy has worked so hard to fix over the past decade coming crashing down? Because if you lose the respect, you won't get any more interviews, invitations, or references from the legends. Papoose has been in the studio, according to one insider, and it's a quick transition from rap royalty to reality TV drama. Through a project called Unwritten Vows, the man is turning his suffering into poetry in addition to healing. The fact that Papoose never begged or publicly retaliated, instead allowing her to drown in footage and leaving, is maybe what grieves Remy the most about the divorce papers, the silence and the retaliation. 1 hotel video, 2 tarnished reputations, 3 broken hearts, and 1,000 screaming fans are all waiting for the press release for the first interview for the apology, which may never come. Since what leaked wasn't just footage, it was a funeral for everything we valued about Black love, loyalty, and legacy. Damn, we really thought they would last forever. Now, the question is not whether Papoose is finished, but rather how profound this betrayal is. Was this a single night in a hotel suite, or has Remy Ma been playing 2 sides all along, establishing an empire with Papoose while skulking around with 50 Cent wearing silk sheets and fraudulent names? We're reading everything. Heartbreak, And now that he's filing for divorce, Remy Ma's endorsements are crashing. 50 Cent is posting cryptic smirks as if it were a damn comedy show. But tell us, was this a one-time mistake, or has this betrayal been years in the making? Do you think the 50s have been put together? Was Remy ever truly loyal? Should Papoose forgive or never look back? In the comments below.